Hey guys, it's Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're gonna be doing some acrylics, which I know is so different for me, but I have been seeing these like encapsulated heart acrylic nails everywhere, and I was like, I'm gonna try that out. So I ordered these hearts from Amazon, and they're just like the little glitter sequins hearts, and it does come with a good variety of colors, but I think I'm gonna stick to the pinks and reds just because of Valentine's Day. So yeah, I'm excited, even though I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Like, you may learn something, you might not, it really just depends. But either way, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna be filming on my thumb, which probably does not make a difference for you guys, but I realized I don't think I've ever done that before, so I wanted to try out this angle setup and see just how I like it. So right now I'm just applying a peel off base coat. This is the peel off base coat, and I'm just doing this so I didn't have to worry about removing the acrylic because I didn't plan on like wearing this or anything. And then I'm just gonna quickly glue on a clear tip. This is from Amazon, and I'll just have everything I use linked down below in the description box. But yeah, I really like working with stiletto tips just because it makes shaping coffin nails so much easier, because then you can just cut off the free edge and then I just file along the sides really quick just to sharpen that up a little bit. So that's what I'm doing right here, and this is where I realized I probably shouldn't have used the peel off base coat, because typically this is where I would go ahead and blend my tip into my natural nail, but when I tried to do that I started picking up the peel off base coats. So I was like, you know what, we're just gonna skip that step altogether and just kind of move on. So I'm gonna go in with this hot pink dip powder. This was my first idea. Now that I think about it, I don't really know what my plan was with this, but I'm gonna be using some monomer from Valentino, and I have not tried to do acrylics in like 2 years, if not longer. So this is me trying to make some beads. The first one was way too wet, but the second one was decent. So I was like, you know what, good enough for me, let's start. And as soon as I put that color on my nails, you guys, I was like, I don't even like it. So I ended up taking an orange wood stick and just peeling that off really quick before it had time to harden, which brings us to attempt number 2. At this point, I gave up on the peel off base coat, so I just went ahead and buffed my nail to have a clean slate. And this time I'm gonna be using a lighter pink. It's also a dip powder, but for some reason, when I mixed it with the monomer, it wasn't giving me an even like color. So I actually panicked a little bit at this point. Like, once I placed it on my nail, I wanted to quickly get it off, but because I was panicking, I flicked it and it ended up landing on my stomach, you guys. It landed on my stomach and it was hardening on my stomach. It was just, this actually looks so calm on camera, but behind the scenes, it was just dysfunctional. So for attempt number 3, I'm like, okay, we're just gonna use some clear acrylic powder. I don't want to be fancy with the whole pink situation. We're just going to keep it simple. So I'm going to create a bead, and I just kind of plopped it near my cuticle. I know there's like the 2 bead, 1 bead, 3 bead method. I didn't use any of them. I just kind of put it on my nail. And another thing I want to point out, I did not mean to get a brush this big at all. I ordered it from Amazon. When it came, I was like, oh, that is not what I meant to get, because it was really intimidating. Like, I know some people like the bigger brush, but for me, I didn't know what to do with it, so that made this a lot harder than I wanted it to be. But once I put it down, I was like, okay, let me just place some hearts, nice and cute. But this stuff started drying so quickly, and I was not expecting that. So again, I started to panic a little bit because I was trying to hurry up and move the hearts and put them onto my nail. And now looking back, there was definitely a smarter way to do this, but I just was like, get the hearts on there. That was my only focus. So I did that, and then I just kept adding beads and kept adding arts. So that was kind of my process with this. I feel like there was definitely an easier way to do this, but I don't know. I really cannot tell you what was going through my head, but this wasn't too bad. Like, at this point, it was going on pretty well, but then after I placed these hearts, I just started throwing acrylic on in random places for no reason. So my nail got so thick. Like, it was just, and it wasn't even like an even thick. It was just, there'd be a random hump of acrylic, and then it'd be flat, and then there'd be another hump, because I didn't have a method. I was just trying to place the hearts, and then I was trying to cover the hearts. So it just, I don't know, I should have slowed down. That's a big tip. If you decide to try this, just take your time. Obviously not once you place the acrylic, but just with the thought process, just think about it before you just start throwing it on there, because I wish I would have done that. I think that would have made this, my whole life, just so much easier. This is where my nail ended up. Honestly, it could be worse. Like, were there air bubbles? Yes. Was it a little thick and deformed? Yes. But the hearts were in there, so I'll take it. So after this, I just filed for at least like 30 minutes. I'm not even kidding. It took me forever. I ended up filing off a few of the hearts. That's how much I filed off. But it wasn't awful. If I would have done a full mani, I probably would have cried. But since it was one finger, it was like, okay, not that bad. Like, just focus on this one nail and it'll be good. So this is how my nail looked after the filing. I still was not happy with it, so I decided just to add a bunch of swirls on top using some gel nail polish, and I think it helped a little bit. Actually, I might have done a little bit too much, but it kind of worked with the design. At least I feel like it made it a little bit better. So that's one thing about acrylic that's really nice. You can add nail polish on top, gel polish, gems, just something to cover up the parts that you don't like or just to add to a design. And I don't know, it was kind of cute. Like, it wasn't, even though it wasn't perfect, it was still cute. And I'm trying to get into that mindset, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, like there's air bubbles or there's a tiny little mistake, and I'll just be like, this whole design sucks. But I think this was fun. I think the experience itself was hilarious, because while I filmed, I was cracking up, you guys, because it was just so, just all over the place and I had no idea what I was doing. But sometimes that's okay when it comes to nails. And I'm not trying to make this all deep, but it was just fun. Now, with that being said, will I be doing acrylic anytime soon? Probably not. Not even because this took forever, but also just the smell of acrylic and monomer. I forgot how strong it is. And I live in a studio apartment, so the smell was just stuck in here. I tried opening a window and burning candles, but it just took forever to go away. So if I did acrylics, it would be further down the line, but let me know what you guys think of the look. I just hope somebody feels inspired from this or learned something. And yeah, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.